2021 was like no other year in the history of this world, and for most of us, it probably was the most revealing and educating 12 months of our lives. If the experiences we're going through were to be compared to an unexpected birthday party, as in the birth of our collective consciousness, then 2020 can be compared to the moment of opening the door to a dark room and being shocked by the suddenly illuminating lights and everybody around loudly screaming, "Surprise!" But 2021 in this scenario would be the actual party, with a lot of bad quality entertainers and fake enthusiasm, your friends and family members inhaling helium and speaking in a funny voice about trivia of life, with a bunch of drunk and passed out guests, and you desperately trying to make sense out of all of it and quietly hoping to find a way out of this unwelcomed event. But like every birthday party, it came with gifts. And these are some important, thoughtful and useful presents that will serve you for a very long time. Did we learn anything? Oh, we learned a lot. We learned the truth about humans, about society, about the control mechanisms, but most of all, we learned about ourselves. And the lessons from 2021 would be so far the most important you have had a chance to be exposed to in this existence. If you haven't had a chance to analyze everything that happened in the last 12 months, this video will offer you all the understanding that should help you thrive in the new reality. If you haven't learned from all of it yourself, it might be a lot to take in, so try to focus. If this information is useful, please think about saying thank you by supporting this channel. Donate through PayPal, Cash App, bank or cryptocurrency transfer. Visit the shop to buy a t-shirt or schedule a donation-funded chat. Join Patreon or Subscribestar to get access to monthly podcasts explaining these subjects further. All links in the description or at b434.com. Thank you very much for your generosity. Let's start from analyzing what we learned about humans. I don't want to sound arrogant by saying, "I told you so," but I did warn you about society many times starting in 2018. And whether you call them sheep, NPCs or quote-mark humans, in 2021 you must have received an incredible number of confirmations and revelations about modern society and the herd mentality they represent. It is apparent now that facts are not important and illusion for humans is everything. It is a world of fiction built upon a world of emotions. 2021 was the year of fakery and censorship, and because facts can't be controlled, we saw our feelings being generated and manipulated, as it is much easier to shape and control the world of illusion than reality. We learned that any truth can be distorted or censored. Fake news, fake reviews, fake science, fake legislation. Humans enjoy being immersed in fiction, and many are actively engaged in building this fictional reality for themselves and others, very often by only pretending to be awake, while in reality, quietly obeying every command they get. There seems to be very little integrity, both on the side of the establishment and society. Most people are far more interested in creating the impression like they're doing the right thing, rather than actually doing it. We learned that the only world people live in is the one they believe in. It is inside their heads and it has nothing to do with reality. In fact, society today resembles a religious cult, as there seems to be no limit to the absurdities that humans subscribe to. Not only will they eagerly accept everything they're told, but they will add their own layer of nonsense to it. Once they subjectively decide to embrace something as truth, it is almost impossible to change their minds, and they will come up with the most absurd and irrational theories, only to justify their twisted logic. It's easier to fool a person than to convince them that they've been fooled. What we saw is that most people want to be accepted by the majority, not be factually right. The fear of disapproval is far stronger than the fear of losing life today, and that's a shocking revelation. In 2021, it became obvious that a disturbingly large part of society is psychotic and is only one slightly more disturbing social event away from a complete meltdown. And that's why, when subject to the right amount of scare tactics, they will not only accept violation of basic human rights, but they'll even ask for it. A big number of people enjoy being ruled over, as it allows them to turn their fear into virtue signaling activism. There are some who take the opportunity themselves to swiftly and happily join the oppressors in terrorizing others by unknowingly creating and perpetuating the social mechanism of self-policing. In 2021, we learned that human nature appears to be much more corrupt and obedient than we thought. Human behavior can be easily modeled and conditioned. When something is pushed on society long enough, no matter how uncomfortable or damaging, it will be eventually accepted as the new necessary evil and then as the new reality. Most believe that they can make evil go away by complying. They don't realize it will never go away as long as they're complying. All it takes for humans to stay silent and obedient is to make them willingly trade fulfillment for pleasure. The more comfortable they get in their prison cell, the less likely they are to resist the last of their freedoms being taken away. We know now that most value the illusion of safety much more than actual liberty. The fake democracy we had is now a distant memory, and worldwide dictatorship became the political system of 2021. Society silently went through a test, the test that most have failed. We learned that corrupt politicians, media, and corporations will unscrupulously sacrifice human lives by any means necessary to achieve their secret goals. The propaganda tools have not changed. No matter how primitive and tired the parroted slogans are, they work as well as they did a century ago. History repeats itself, and in 2021 it appeared to be meaningless. Nobody remembers it. Nobody sees repeating patterns. It became clear that humans don't develop, again proving that the theory of mental and cultural evolution is a farce. Humans turned out to be a suicidal herd of lemmings that can be manipulated to throw themselves voluntarily off a cliff by anyone with media presence and some money. Everyone having limitless access to all human knowledge through a cheap plastic box in their pockets has not changed a thing. Technology, no matter how advanced, turned out to be powerless when confronted with the lies of the establishment, as the society, for some bizarre reason, despite all historical evidence pointing to the contrary, still believes that governments are acting in society's best interest. Those who were vocal about the lies and those who really tried to act in society's best interest were still laughed off as crazy tinfoil hats in 2021, despite the fact that everything they have been predicting for decades transformed from theories to headlines. No matter how smart and knowledgeable a person is, if what they say doesn't fit the rapidly changing narrative, they're dismissed. The science is dead. It has no longer anything to do with questioning and critical thinking, as in 2021 it evolved into another religious tool for the sleeping masses. For the intelligent ones, it became obvious that we live in an upside-down reality now, trapped in a circus of cheap tricks and poorly rehearsed performances for the uneducated. But let us now move on to the gifts that we received from 2021, as there was plenty of them to satisfy even the most greedy independent thinker. While the sleepwalking ones lost a lot in 2021, people like you and me have gained an enormous wealth of knowledge and self-awareness in the last 12 months. We know now that the enemy is real, and that they stay in the shadows using soulless, sold-out authority figures and celebrities promoted by corrupt media. They had to make themselves known to the world. The primitive earthly matrix of lies is confirmed and became clearly visible in 2021, and for us, getting to the truth is now easier than ever simply by observing what is being censored. That which they don't want you to know is what you definitely need to know. Many of us learned how unhealthy and pathological the environment is in which we were forced to live, and now we are slowly learning how to hack it and how to defend ourselves from it. Once you're confronted with what you don't want, you can start to work on improving and building what you do want in your life. That old world that is being disposed of now no longer has anything to offer to you anyway. Nothing was normal before this mess, and there is nothing valuable to go back to. You feel like being a slave in the Matrix, surrounded by other sleepwalking slaves, is normal? 2021 was the moment of awakening, and you never had so many partners in crime ready to break out of this prison. You're not alone anymore. You got a chance to learn who your real friends are. No more small talk and fake smiles. You're free now, as you might have learned how love for the truth outweighs the fear to offend others. Enjoy being yourself. There's no need to fit in anymore, as there is no normal. It's perfectly fine to stick out. Being awake in a sleepwalking society has never felt so great. You do know now you're not crazy. Finally, what we talked about for years has been confirmed. The society we live in is insane, and it is perfectly fine to be an outcast. It is time to save the energy and focus on yourself and the ones who need it. It has never been easier to identify valuable, like-minded people around you and build communities together. The lost humans identify themselves conveniently for you. What an incredible opportunity to unite, especially that there are so many new disillusioned people joining us every day. We don't switch sides, but they do, in huge numbers. It is time to forget about our differences. We have the same problems now. It is time to remind yourself and others who the real enemy is and who tries to divide us. Those in the shadows know the worse they treat us, the more resistance they encounter from us, and the more of a fight we put up. Do not offer them any more of your energy. They don't deserve it. Instead, support lovingly those who try to make things better. Did you notice these first attempts of introducing the Internet of Things into our reality? And the immediate huge resistance emerging to turning our lives into virtual reality? You all appeared to be the much-needed anomaly, the irregularity, the coding error that puts on the brakes to all of this madness. You are the anticipated glitch in the matrix, as your very existence now goes against all the established community standards. In fact, you're fighting $1 billion propaganda with memes. Have you noticed many celebrities and authoritative figures shamefully disappearing from the spotlight in 2021? The biggest and most elaborate psyop in known history, and it failed to fool you. Well done. We got too powerful for them, and the Matrix is too weak to change us or control us. And that's why they call it the reset. We got so close to a revolution by exchanging words and data. So imagine what happens when we plug into virtual reality to exchange our thoughts. They don't stand a chance. 2021 is just the beginning, and you need to get ready for more battles. It's a spiritual war. If you're not fighting, you're being heavily beaten. The path is not a straight line. It's a loop that drags you back to see the deeper layers of the truth, again and again. The contact with the metaphysical has never been so important. You have a reason now to connect with the energy, God, the Creator. What if that has been the plan all along? What if you're the Creator's favorite one? What if He uses forces of light and darkness to make you see how far your breaking point really is located? What if He wants you to realize that you don't have a breaking point? Your divine rights are not up for discussion or debate. Nobody owns you. You're doing the right thing, and you shouldn't let any fear into your life. History, morals, logic, and true science are all on your side. You will understand soon why it all happened. You're discovering what you came here to be. The situation in the world now is a lesson that allows you to define everything around you and define yourself. It is to force you to think and to trigger the defining process in you to make you understand who you are by changing your reality. Welcome to the real world. I wish all of us an amazing new year filled with opportunities to learn and grow, and I want to thank you for everything we have done for each other in 2021. It was not easy, but you're still here, and that's all that matters. The future of this channel depends on your financial support so that I can reach as many people as possible with these messages. So if you enjoyed watching this video, have a look at the full list of methods to support my work.
Subscribe and follow. Like and share this video. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and VK. Talk to each other on Reddit, Discord, and Telegram. All links in the video description.